Welcome to the series where I show young guys how to cook something delicious while not using too much effort, okay? So, we will cook something delicious by following the pleasure hypothesis, meaning those 6 pillars. And today I will cook something that, I'm cooking basically a recipe, a traditional recipe, but I will change it in a way that it is very easy. Like, I am very unconventional cook. I don't like cooking in the conventional way, because I like eating more than cooking. So I try to focus on making things taste good, holy shit, while not using too much effort while I cook. So I developed these unconventional strategies and stuff to make the food taste better without using too much effort like the recipes do. So it really makes me sad to see young guys come back home maybe from school and they just eat something randomly because they have to eat, and it's like some packaged food, okay? So instead of eating some packaged food, you can cook something delicious like I show you by following even these pillars. And that's way better for you, like for your health, for your hormones, for your testosterone, from everything you can think of. It's way better that way, like if you cook something yourself. But obviously, like the cooking, like social media and everything, makes it look so complicated what it is actually not. And that's what I'm trying to break, like these limiting beliefs that things have to be hard and complicated, okay? So today I will be simplifying a recipe. And to start off, I'm gonna show you a thing I do unconventionally, which is making the flour around the meat. So this recipe is called the pizzaiola. It has nothing to do with pizza. It is like meat with this like flour and like cooked in a tomato sauce, kind of, with salty stuff. And that's like the base recipe. Okay, I will make it simple, okay? And by the way, if you have a recipe you like to make, or you would like to eat, but it is kind of too hard or too annoying to do, you can type that in the comments. I will try to simplify that, or you can also click the link in the description where I offer like a better service. But just type it in the comment if you want. So this was the first thing I made this recipe simpler. Instead of taking a plate and like making all of the mess into the plate and everything spills over like I'm kind of doing right now, I will use this paper I found the meat in. So this is like an unconventional, like a convenience tip, not really a taste tip. And the reason I'm putting the flour around it, so this flour basically satisfies this digestibility. Not only that, okay, it also will satisfy later on these other pillars, meaning sweetness and umami. Why? Because the flour around the meat will basically enable the meat to go through the Maillard reaction, okay, the crust. It will make that brown crust, and it is fucking delicious. We love that, okay? So instead of like indulging in junk food or random stuff, try to cook something for yourself. It's not that bad. There are like many arguments saying like, oh, advanced processed glycation and product, like if there is the browning, basically it's bad for you. But you know what I'm saying, like, as long as you don't eat junk food, you are doing 80% of the work. So just avoid junk food. So we will cook all of this in fat, by the way. So let's take some fat. I like to use clarified butter. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So let's clarified butter. And you can also use normal butter or just olive oil. Just use olive oil if you have it. And that will be fine anyway, because you are just satisfying the fat pillar. We don't need to stress over which fat. We can also use lard. Yeah, lard is fine. I will use lard in a future episode. But yeah, today I will be using this clarified butter. So let's drop it in and let it melt a little bit. You don't need to like make it searing hot. It doesn't need to be like that. And by the way, this was a technique to flour the meat. But if you don't have this like paper like I do, if you didn't go to the butcher to buy this, you can also do the same thing into the pan. Meaning, I'll show you one other way you can do it. So this is the one I did at the beginning, and I can use it from. Let me speed this up. Okay, so you can do this and drop it. You can also do this. Okay, it's very probably the most easy way, I guess, like convenient way. But you can also take like something like this piece of meat, drop that in. Okay, let's take this small one. So this is like an example. Okay, and what you can do is take the flour and sprinkle it on top directly into the pan. So it's like even less mess into the like paper towel thing. So you drop some, you take your hand and you disperse it very roughly. Doesn't need to be perfect. You're just trying to flour the meat. You don't need to be extremely precise. But since I have this, I will do it here. So today I will do it here. Okay, so the original recipe basically asked me to use, I don't know the name in English, I will put the subtitles on, but basically these like salty ingredient, usually these kind of vegetables or whatever the fuck, this berry is stored in salt. So what I will do is basically not use that, because the only good thing about that ingredient is not the actual ingredient, it is the salt. The reason why people like that ingredient is because it is salty, and we love salty stuff. Yes, there is some flavor, there is some bullshit, but the main thing is salt, okay? These are the 6 pillars that basically make your food taste good. You don't have to be obsessed over the flavors. Just be looking for the 6 pillars. That's the most important stuff. So I will use salt instead of that ingredient. Actually, I will use that ingredient, but if you are like at home and there is a salty ingredient that you don't have, you can just use salt, because that's the main reason you like the ingredient. If you notice, I am cooking that stuff there, but I'm still breading this, like not breading, like flouring this meat. So your question may be, wait, but I'm not messing up with the timing, and my answer is yes, but no. Because yes, I'm messing up with the timings, but no, it is not important, okay? You can drop this in separate timings. It will be very small of a difference, you will not even notice. The only constraint here is the size of the pan, meaning I cannot fit more than 3 pieces. Maybe I can fit 4, but very badly. You know what, I will try to fit it anyway. So I'll try to, yeah, I think I cannot. Let's try. Maybe I had to do like 2 batches. Maybe I will not, yeah, maybe I'll keep this for another time, but yeah, so like let's like try to fit everything in. Doesn't have to be perfect. So let's recap for a moment. The reason this meal is very tasty. So at the moment we have umami, and basically umami is savoriness, okay? Try to, I will leave a link in the description with a list of umami foods. You can maybe relate and start to understand what umami is. Umami is a pillar, so like try to understand what this is. And umami, acidity, we don't have acidity, we just have umami, fat and salt, okay? No, not yet salt, we just have umami and fat, and digestibility, so we have these 3. We are missing saltiness, acidity and sweetness. I don't think sweetness, I mean, we will add the tomato paste or whatever, so there will be sweetness and acidity, because tomato is also acidic, by the way. And, you know, we are just missing salt that we will add through that ingredient that we just talked about. So this is the ingredient, and as you can see, it's like soaked in salt. So we will take a few of them and we will drop them. In theory, you should drop them like maybe when you put the tomato thing. I don't really know, but it doesn't matter. I will put them before, after. Doesn't, like, it will not change much, okay? Don't stress over the when do you have to put the spices in, when you do have to put this thing in or this thing, okay, the salt in. Don't stress, just add it, okay? That's the most important part. I'm raising the heat because it was taking too long to cook. So yeah, now it looks like it's cooking faster. And yeah, I think these are, holy shit. So I think these are enough. I will put this into the fridge. Yeah, let's see how it goes. So let's put this into the fridge. And now, so the salt is basically added. I don't know if those were salt enough, so I will add some salt later. Actually, I will add it now. And yeah, let's see if we can fit also that piece of meat. I don't think so, but I will make it fit anyway, just to demonstrate to you that you doesn't like have to be perfectly, you know, spaced even like across the pan. You can also be like layered on top of each other. I don't know if that makes sense. Kind of badly worded, but yeah. Wait, let me turn them first. I will basically turn them around. You see the browning there? That is the browning reaction. That is the Maillard reaction. That was thanks to the flour and the fat probably. But yeah, that is very delicious. So keep that in mind. When you see brown stuff, it means it is delicious. So let's put this also. Kind of, yeah, almost, yeah. Not really perfect, but it will do. And now that we're at it, let's add some more fat. Bam, let's add it there. So it helps this thing to cook better. Alright, let's let this melt. And meanwhile it is cooking. And by the way, another tip, if you're afraid this will burn, okay, first of all, lower the heat. Second of all, take this away. And if you want to like long term let this cook without burning, you can put the lid on. what a lid will do is basically keep the water, the moisture, inside the pan. And when there is water, you cannot burn anything, okay? As long as there is water, you cannot burn. So put the lid on and you can go away. Another situation this thing can be applied on is where, for example, if you have to reheat leftover food, maybe your mom has left you some food from yesterday and you want to eat it. So usually it sucks, okay? It sucks. But if you, for example, take the pan and put the food into the pan and put a splash of, like a little bit of water, not too much, because the water will also release from the food, and you cover it with a lid, you heat it up a little bit, it will be like as new. It is going to be as flavorful as the original and you will love it. And we also create a little bit of a sauce that is gonna go amazing with the meal. So just you can also use this method in this way. Okay, that said, I will keep this open so it can cook. And let's steep the fat under the meat so it cooks faster. So let's steep some of the fat. All right. So meanwhile this is cooking, I will kind of throw away the trash. So let's throw everything away. Oops. See, this is why I hate using the flour in recipes, because I always make a fucking mess. That is why I usually do that into the pan. So let's throw this away, and let's put this back into the fridge. You will not need this anymore. Put this back into the closet, the drawer, whatever the fuck it is called. Alright, so, no, this is the... Okay, so let's see how it is cooking there. Yeah, you see the browning there? Let's scrape this off before it all burns. Because this will get from brown to black, so I don't want this to be black. I will try to scrape it a little bit. And one tip, if this is not scraping off, okay, what you can do is try to take a piece of meat and try to scrape it with it, like if it was a sponge. It is not coming off yet. So what you will do is take some liquid. It can be water, alright, it can be water, but it can also be tomato sauce. It can be whatever liquid you can think of. As long as there is water, you will be able to scrape this off. So I will do that in a moment. I want to, before removing the browning with the liquid, I will turn this also. Alright, let's see how it goes. Yeah, this is kind of cooked. So I will take this tomato thing with this very liquid, like it is mostly water probably, and I will add it. Alright. So look at how the browning there goes away very quickly. I will start to scrape. Bam, look at that. It's so soft now once you put some liquid in. So you just put some liquid and you start scraping. Let's start to stir the meat around. Let's drop some more tomato paste and let's cook it a little bit more. We can adjust with salt now, we can taste it and think about if we want to add more salt or not. I'm just gonna keep scraping it. I mean, now that there is liquid, it cannot burn. Remember, as long as there is water, you cannot burn anything. So I will just cover it with a lid and let it cook more. So maybe the meat gets softer or something like that. Or in general, I will just let this like tomatoes thing absorb into the meat. Speaking of tomato, and tomatoes has, by the way, umami, acidity and sweetness. Maybe not too much sweetness, this was a canned like tomato. Yeah, not really sweet. You know, fresh tomatoes are sweeter. One thing I wanted to add actually, is dried tomatoes. Okay, dried tomatoes, you have to understand, are not just tomatoes concentrated, but in the process of drying, they also like produce something that are called nucleotides. Okay, nucleotides are basically substances that take the umami, okay, the MSG, the monosodium glutamate. The monosodium glutamate is the molecule of umami, and make it like 10 times more delicious, like 10 times stronger. They will basically amplify the umami perception. So there are specific ratios, and again, in the link I sent you in the description, you will find all the database and the amounts of guanate and isonate, which are the nucleotides in relation to the umami, to the glutamate, and you will find all of that in the site. But just to like have you a small summary, if you mix things that are umami with these nucleotides that are found in meat, there are basically mixes you can do to make the umami perception stronger. And one of those combinations is meat plus dried tomatoes, for example. So I will crush with my hands a dried tomato just to let it try to let it absorb into the meal. I will give it a quick stir, and before covering everything, I will try to taste the tomato, like the tomato, like the sauce, and try to understand if it is salty enough. If it is not salty enough, I will add some salt, obviously. Yeah, I mean, could be useful to add a little bit more salt. So let's go with more salt, just a little pinch. I don't want to over salt. Like, this is my problem. Like, a mistake I always make is I fucking over salt everything all the time. This is like my biggest mistake when I cook. I used to undersalt my food, and since I basically fixed the problem, I'm now oversalting stuff. So I will try to undersalt things. But I know like a big problem of people that are starting out cooking is that they undersalt their food. So when something is not tasting the best, remember that it's probably the salt is missing. Well, if you're like me, yeah, undersalt stuff. All right, so let's let it cook a little bit more. And I want you to notice that while the lid was opened, a lot of tomato evaporated, okay? A lot of the water evaporated. So yeah, this will be at a higher risk to quote-unquote burn. It's like, honestly, it's quite hard to burn something like this because there is still a lot of liquid. This turned off for some reason, so let's turn it back on. And yeah, I will like wait a few minutes. Meanwhile, again, I can put this back. Oh, actually, there is some tomato paste. Let's add this back. All right. I can put everything away. I can put the tomatoes and like fix the kitchen if you created any mess. In this case, like most of my videos, I try to create less mess as possible, meaning I will try to minimize the damage I do into the kitchen. This way I don't have to clean it later, and this way like I don't have to stress too much over fixing the kitchen and everything, washing too many plates and shit. So this is like one other of my I don't know, traits, I guess, of my channel, which is like I cook in a convenient way, meaning an efficient way, where you don't have to clean after. So let's throw this away. And there is one thing though I created, which is this like messy flour. But you know, it's quite easy to clean off. Just take a few paper towels and yeah, quite straightforward. So we have this, we have this, we have. Did we use this? Ah yes, we use this for the butter. So I guess we will use this also for to cut the meat when I eat it. So let's throw it away. Actually, there is a little bit of tomato here. Bam. I don't know what this is. And that's it. We cleaned the kitchen. The only thing we have to clean later is the pan. But it is like an additional thing. So check on it once in a while. I just check on it right now, so I'm very quick to check. But you know, it's kind of ready already. Like you can eat this like this. You don't have to cook it more, you don't have to cook it less. And notice how the browning under it got absolutely annihilated. Like I can scrape this very easy. Like there is no browning on the side. Because again, I added the liquid. In this case, the liquid was a tomato paste. But it can be pretty much anything, a fruit juice, bro, anything that has water in it is like liquid. So you can add a liquid, and wine, red wine is considered like when you scrape things off with a red wine, it is called deglazing, something like that. I do it with tomato paste. Okay, I don't like alcohol, but yeah, look at that. It's we absorbed all that browning, which is delicious, and we have this beautifully tasty, savory pizzaiola meat. Okay, so let's try to take a piece of it and try to taste it. Let's see how it is. All right. Holy shit! No, awful. You know why this is awful? Because there is not enough salt. So I will add the salt. Luckily I tasted it. You see, when something is not tasting the best, it is not the ingredient selection, because I use the same ingredients as the pizzaiola, as the original recipe. The only thing that is missing is not some ingredient, is not some garlic or something, some spice I didn't add. It is 100% one of those things. Most likely it is the salt. Some other times it is the umami. Some other times it is the digestibility or the fat. Most likely it is salt. In this case it was salt. You will get good at understanding what is missing with time. But yeah, instead of adding salt, I could also add that berry I showed you before, that green like undersalt berry that is salty, but this will do for now. All right, let's mix this a little bit so we can disperse the salt we just added. Yeah, way better. Just tasting the tomato paste. Yeah, delicious. Now it is good. Now it is good. So we can put the salt away. And that's pretty much ready. We have digestibility from the flour, we have the umami from the dried tomato, the tomato paste, and the meat. Okay, they're all umami stuff. So we have this checked, we have this checked, we have kind of acidity, we have this kind of checked because we have tomato, which is a little bit acidic, not too much, but we still have this checked. We also have some sweetness checked, okay, because we have the tomato, which is a little bit sweet. We have the fat fully checked, the salt fully checked. So we basically have everything aside a small portion of acidity and sweetness. But I think this is delicious as it is. You don't have to add everything. I added pretty much every pillar now, but even if you didn't have acidity, okay, it would have been delicious anyway, okay? You just need to have like intense enough pillars. You don't have to have all of them. And yeah, this is delicious. Let's put it in a plate. And there you go, you have a delicious meal. You didn't create any mess. It didn't take too much time. I probably took more time than it should have took because I was talking meanwhile. And talking, it like takes, I don't know, a lot of mental effort for some reason, especially if you're trying to cook at the same time. But yeah, let's drop this in. This is not the best presentation, but who cares? You just need to taste good. So one thing I can add to the side for health benefits could be this sauerkraut. Okay, this is a sauerkraut, and I can add this to make it even more acidic and yeah, pretty much acidic and salty. So yeah, I could put this into the side. To be honest, I will just eat this as it is. To be honest, the sauerkrauts would have add a little bit of color, and that looks good. I mean, colorful stuff not only gets me more clicks in the YouTube video, it also looks better and more appetizing, and you like it more. Okay, but I mean, I will just eat this. To be honest, I don't want to stress too much over the appearance. So don't stress too much over the appearance if you don't want to. Okay, and let's call it a day and let's eat this shit. All right, so let's turn on the lights. Oh, they're turned on. And let's take a fork. I guess this is good. I don't know. So we have this piece of meat and we can like dip this into this like tomato sauce we just made. Very savory, very umami. That's delicious. And it's also healthy and it didn't create too much mess. So we'll just basically have to clean a pan and pretty much nothing else.
Yo bro, like wait, before cleaning that pan, like make sure you're like scooping as much of that tomato kind of sauce that there is in the pan. Like that's like one of the best parts, okay? Very savory. Don't clean it off, like take that and put it into your plate. I didn't show it on camera, but I literally took all of that sauce and added it to my plate.
So if you found this video useful, consider liking the video. Again, if you have a recipe that you want to make easier, type it in the comment or check the link in the description. And I'm out. Take a bite.
Know what time it is. The juice man up in this motherfucker. My nigga Everclear, the Joker, and Lil Jen finna break y'all some property like this. Biatch.